That was between Bray and I. It was a moment that we exchanged, and now I really don't, with him passing, it needs to stay between us.
So one of the questions people keep asking me about you, and I say, I don't know if I ever talk to him. The moment you said something in the ring to Bray Wyatt, no one knows what that was. Can you tell us what that was?
No, that was between Bray and I. It was a moment that we exchanged, and now I really don't, with him passing, it needs to stay between us.
How close were you with him?
I really kept an eye on everything that he did. Didn't necessarily talk to him all the time, but always kept an eye on him and what he was doing. I was always impressed with Bray because he's one of those rare people that wasn't afraid to think outside of the box.
Try something new.
A lot of things is very cookie cutter within the wrestling industry, the sports entertainment industry, and everybody wants to do the same thing.
Yep.
And he was not that guy. Yeah. He looked at things with a different perspective and wasn't afraid to try things. Even when people would say, I don't know about that. He had that conviction within himself that he knew he could make it work. And I just, it's so sad. It's sad in the sense that he died such a young man, on a personal level, but on a professional level, he was just scratching the surface of what I think he was going to be. I think he was going to be really, really special. And he already was, but I think he had only scratched the surface of what he was going to do in the industry.
Do you think the Undertaker might have passed the torch on to him?
You know what? I think he created his own torch.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed the torch. I don't know that obviously there was several comparisons between our characters and some of the stuff that we put out there. Yeah. But he lit his own torch and he carried it proudly.
One of the other things that people always talked about regarding you, and I saw this in action backstage when I used to go backstage, you were always talked about, they said the Undertaker is the locker room leader. And I'm sure you've heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have cases where you had to straighten people out like in the old days, and just how did you do it? How did this happen?
Well, it wasn't anything that I tried. I tried to be. It was just something that just kind of evolved naturally through the years.
Yeah.
Everyone's aware of my relationship with Vince and how close that we are. I was positioned in a very in a unique place because I had going back for all of wrestling times, there's the boys and then there's office, right? And I think
you notice we said that at the same time. Yes.
I was kind of positioned there where obviously the office trusted me, and then the boys trusted me. The boys knew I had a great relationship, but they trusted me.
Right.
They knew, I was one of the boys first and foremost.
Absolutely.
But they also knew that I was going to protect the business and do what was right for the business. And I think they appreciated the fact that, I could do both. So there's a few people that I had to, pull aside on occasion through the years, and didn't have to, I didn't have to slap them around or anything,
right.
But
not like the old days.
Yeah, not like the old days. There was a couple of occasions where, out in the nightlife aspect, things got a little more physical, but in a business sense, it's usually pulling somebody aside and saying, hey, you're doing this, this, and this, and it's your choice. Yeah. But let me tell you, you're getting a little bit of heat
Right.
and you might want to change, you know. And I think the way I led, this is the way I looked at it. I said, you can be an alpha, but you can still be a nice guy.
Sure, absolutely.
And I just think that I think the boys appreciated that, and I think the office appreciated having someone in that gray area that could kind of, you know, hold it all together.
By the way, thank you to Trapper Tom for sitting here and taping this for us.
So true professional.
True professional, right. The Undertaker, the Bill Apter Legacy Award.
First ever.